Loki, Season 2, Episode 5. It's going to be a recap, but first, can we talk about how Echo is the first Marvel TV show to get a TVMA rating? How about them apples? Yeah, Echo, the trailer dropped, so make sure to check that out. It's coming. So, anyway, I just wanted to give a shout out to Echo since the internet is freaking out over its TVMA rating, first Disney Plus Marvel show. Obviously, the Netflix ones had it, but this is the first time Disney Plus has embraced the TVMA rating. Would have been nice on Moon Knight. Maybe people wouldn't be so fucking divisive about that thing, and we would get more Oscar Isaac as Moon Knight. I'm so afraid that we're never going to see him as Moon Knight again. I love that character, and I hate the idea that that's all we get. That's it. That's really pissing me off. But anyway, back to Loki. So, in case you didn't watch the last episode, by the way, spoilers, the world ended. Everything just kind of flashed out, and we were just kind of left with a mic drop of an episode. And I really appreciated it, and I was kind of blown away by it, because it's very ballsy to do that in like halfway through the season, because then you really don't know what's coming next. You're just like, when you hit the restart button in the middle of the season, you're just, I didn't know. Had no idea where we were going from here. But we wake up, and Loki is alone in the TBA, and that's it. Yeah. So he walks around the TBA the whole time, and one time he gets to see a version of himself. He's time slipping again, which becomes very relevant. And he can't hold on to anything, and then he time slips out, and he time slips into where his friends are. There's Casey, who apparently used to be a criminal breaking out of Alcatraz. There's B-15, poor lady still doesn't have a name, and she's a doctor now, living her best life. We've got Obi, who is a budding science fiction novelist, and he gives Loki a lot of really good advice, and seems to follow, especially since Loki has a copy of the TVA guide that he manages to give to Obi, and Obi uses his intelligence and know-how that he apparently has regardless of what timeline he's in, even though he doesn't remember being Ouroboros, and he thinks he's just a science fiction novelist. He ends up becoming incredibly useful. And also Mobius, who is not Mobius. He's, I don't know, Ben or something like that. And he works at selling jet skis. That's what he does for a living. So he's a single dad with kids, and he's, trying to keep the kids from burning down the house. There's he's in his timeline. His wife has passed, and he has this moment where he tries to sell Loki the other Sea-Doo because he doesn't need it anymore. And Loki's like, I don't need it, but I need Mobius to come with me, so we have to save the timelines. The timelines are in danger. Eventually, Obi figures out how to rebuild time pads and how to leap through, and gets the gang back together. So all those people that I just mentioned all get in the same room together. And Loki's like, there's one more. So he has to go visit Sylvie, who's feeling quite nihilistic at the time, and is like, maybe the TBA was meant to die. Maybe it's a good thing. and she reminded him that he who remains plucked these people out of their timelines and never gave them the choice. And Loki points out that he talked with Mobius, and Mobius was aware of that possibility and said that even if he knew he had another life or had the option to take another life, that he would still want that one. That was his choice. And that he felt like he was important, he was doing something. And Loki's point was that as they knew them, those people, even though they were ripped from their original timelines without ever being given a choice, they were never given a choice to go back. You know, that choice was made for them by the loom collapsing. So, eventually, I think what Loki says resonates to Sylvie, and she ends up showing up, mainly because her world is being destroyed, and trying to help Loki, but it may be a little bit too late, except for the fact that, as we learned in the final moments, Loki has learned how to control his time slipping, and he time slips back to before the loom is destroyed. So he's got one more shot to fix that loom, which I guess is, if we only got a 6-episode order like the first season did, I guess next time around is the season finale. So maybe the next time I'm talking to you about Loki, it'll be the final episode. But it's weird because it doesn't feel like that this is a 2-season show. So hopefully Loki comes back for a 3rd season. I can't imagine they're going to wrap all of this up in one episode, but maybe they will. So it feels like there's a lot going on. There's a lot happening here. But these writers are fantastic, and they've been doing a great job with the series. I would not put it past them to be able to wrap it up in one episode. I wonder if there will be any cameos or any other sort of like wink, wink, nudge, nudges to any other franchises that we'll see coming up. But that's episode 5 in a nutshell. That is what we do. I mean, obviously it just takes longer to bounce around, and the conversations are deeper and longer and have greater effect. Are we hiding B-15's name? Is she going to end up like saying her name and it's going to be something amazing and we're going to be like, oh, you're that character? Like, is that what's going to happen? Like, is there payoff in not giving her a name at this point? So, I don't know, but I just kind of feel bad for her that she's just a name. She's just a number. Meanwhile, we've got Casey and Obi and Mobius and Sylvie. But we have B-15, so... Anyway, I love the episode. The audio description was great. Again, we got the weird sort of, I don't know, it's almost sounds like a horror movie as as Loki's about to time slip. He's like stretching and glitching and doing all sorts of things. It just sounds gnarly as hell. So, yeah, I definitely appreciated that. And of course, every time as something is being destroyed, it turns into these little like spaghetti strands as it's being wiped away into oblivion. And seeing Loki trying to grasp at these spaghetti straws of matter, when it's something he cares about that's being destroyed, absolutely poignant. It kind of just brings everything together, wraps everything up, and it's a very nice series, and I'm really looking forward to the series finale. So I'm surprised that this was all we got, was just sort of like getting the gang back together, especially when you hit the reset button. So even though I love the episode, I'm not going to put the plus on it like I have the past 2 episodes. We're just going to go with, I'm giving Loki season 2, episode 5 an A. A plus would have been thinking way outside the box here. and just putting Loki in a different time and place where he's just like, wait, where am I? you know, Instead of waking up in the TVA by himself, I don't know, he could have awakened somewhere incredibly interesting and then like on his own timeline like everybody else, but just with a memory. He didn't need to wake up in the TVA like everybody else. He could have awakened somewhere and maybe had a shot with, I don't know, any of the other characters from his franchise or from any of the Avengers franchises. Would have been a nice 2-second cameo to have literally any of them in the franchise for 2 seconds. So to have him interact with somebody from his past and be like, this doesn't feel right. And that's probably the path I would have gone, just because you were given the opportunity to hit that button, and we did. Everything went to black, and I feel like if you're going to do that, then go wild and crazy kids with it. Really just take a swing, take a really big swing. And but this was a really solid episode, so I can't begrudge it too much. I would have loved to see Loki just wake up next to blank anybody from Thor to Frigga, Odin, anybody. Just should send out an email blast, get everybody in that text chain, and text and be like, who wants to guest star in an episode of Loki? And then just figure it out from there. So anyway, that's it. I'll be back next week with what I presume is the season finale, unless we got a longer episode count this season. But until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.